Now, let me ask you, because some of the Spades, a couple maybe, I don't know if a lot or a couple, actually went into the military.
Right, I was one of them.
You went into the military.
Yes.
Can you talk about that, elaborate on that? Like, why would you go to the military?
Well, here's the thing. Like you said, some of us got strung out on crack, some of us got this and that. Myself and a few other comrades, we took it to another level. Like I said, we wanted to get the drugs out of the community, so to speak. So we were shutting down the crack houses. We were robbing the drug dealers. We were getting the little lookout guys and all that kind of stuff. And it became kind of rough and well, I'm gonna say what it is. It became very dangerous. So we had to arm ourselves. There was a few shootouts. There was a lot of stuff going on at the time that some of us got caught up. There's some things now I can't talk about because of statute of limitations, but a lot of us became co-defendants on certain maneuvers and certain missions we went on. And when you get in that damn precinct or before that judge, he don't care if your ass is a Black Spade, a Black Panther, he don't care what you are.
Right.
You're in that courtroom, you've done something, now he wants you to pay. So my thing was, since my charges didn't really stick and weren't that heavy, the judge gave me an ultimatum. He said, you can either come over here or you could go over there.
Wow.
So I chose to join the service. Me and some other colleagues, we joined the service. Your brother Hiram, who just left, he talked about us and Sunshine and us going into the service. But we were bad out there too, because we were training. Now we're actually licensed and trained with weapons now the proper way. Right. We're talking about proper propaganda and proper education. We were trained now with weapons. I was an expert grenadier and a sharpshooter.
What's a grenadier?
A grenadier is with explosives. So I mastered the explosives, hands down.
What years is this?
This was in the 80s. Now this is coming later because of all the stuff in the 70s. Now we're trying to clean up, regroup, and reorganize, so to speak. So some of us had to go. Some of us went to prison, as they said. Some of us went to the service. Some of us died, and some of us were strung out. Whatever drug they chose at the time. Back then it was mostly PCP, crack. You didn't have too much heroin going on. That's starting to come back now again.
Right.
But that's what it was.
Wow. So how long did you stay in the military?
I signed in for a total of 6 years. So I did 3 active, 3 inactive. So I actually signed, it's ironic because I signed up with the National Guard and then the Reserves, and then I was with the 369th Regiment, which was an all-black regiment.
The Harlem Hellfighters was a regiment of New York National Guardsmen in the First World War. They were set up to fail by their own government. They were humiliated, degraded, eventually given to the French army as a throwaway, and they ended up coming home as one of the most decorated units in the entire U.S. Army.
Harlem Hellfighters are one of the most important regiments in American history. In World War I, they helped to establish to the entire world the power of black soldiers in the military.
It was very difficult at that time for African Americans to get into the United States military because there was this perception that African Americans would not do well in battle. They had to overcome the prejudice of their own countrymen and yet also perform ably on the battlefield.
So
all black?
All black.
Regiment in the 80s, yeah?
Regiment. Well, it got watered down later. You still had white commanders and all that. But that was supposed to be put in place in Harlem. That's where the Armory comes from. And as a matter of fact, a lot of jams from hip-hop was at the Armory later on. So you had the Armory, you had Audubon, Renaissance when that was up and running, Randy's Place. So all these places was right in Harlem, and a lot of Spades hung out in those places.
Now let me ask you, isn't there a conflict if you black liberation? Isn't there a conflict with being in the military, the U.S. military?
Well, it depends on how you look at it, because we were radical going in. So,
but America makes you pledge allegiance to America.
Well, some of us refuse. I refuse that too. As a matter of fact, I got written up a few times for pledging allegiance because there was some of us who were Muslim in there. I became a Muslim. I was in the service, but I chose to use my name. They always say, "That's not your name. Your name is such and such. Your serial numbers, blah 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 blah." And I almost went to prison when I went to jail. And I could have got kicked out, but they waved it off later because I had a fight with one of the officers who called me nigger. He was a white boy. He said, "You niggas think you this and you that. You freak that black Muslim stuff." And so it got real combative. But then we also said, don't get out in the field because you can get hit by friendly fire. You know, catchers fragging each other. There's one clown that tried it and was unsuccessful. He threw a grenade the opposite way into the troop area, but luckily they got him out of the way. There was another guy who came in and tried to shoot the sergeant at one time with the M16, or the M1 at the time. We had M1s, M16s came later. But I mean, you know, you get stupid stuff like that, but then again, you're right. I went in as a conscientious objector, but at the same time, did I want to stay behind bars for many years, you know, or do I want to go play with Uncle Sam and learn the correct way of how to shoot? Because nowadays, brothers, they take these guns, they hit grandma on the porch, they hit little Pookie, you know what I'm saying? Because they have no training. They don't know how to shoot. They don't even know how to aim a gun. They do this shooting behind them like the cowboy movies, you know, but so that's what happened with that.
Did you fight in any wars or any U.S. conflicts?
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people think, you know, well, that's a governmental way of watering things down. I was in a conflict with the Grenada conflict. Okay. So that was, you know, and they call it a conflict.
What year was that? What year was that?
The Grenada, let me get that to you as a whole with the sound.
Okay.
It's been exactly 30 years. 30 years ago today, October 25th, Ronald Reagan sent U.S. forces into Grenada.
You had Grenada and then you had the Panama invasion.
Okay.
But again, me being a black man, Grenada and Panama is mostly what?
People of color.
So they label it as a conflict, but a conflict to who? It wasn't a conflict to me.
Right.
So guess what? I refused to fight.
Yeah.
The reason why they didn't give me an Article 15 or write me up or give me a dishonorable discharge was because a lot of brothers were standing up saying, no, we're not going to fight our brothers and sisters in the country that's really ours. You know, but that's a whole other story. But
wow.
I say that to say that you had a lot. As a matter of fact, one of my bunkies at one time became a chaplain, a Muslim chaplain in the service. And he got up to the rank of a colonel or something, or a lieutenant colonel. He was a lieutenant colonel. And and at the time, he was wearing a beard and everything. And that's one thing I learned later. I went and got what they call a shaving profile. So I was able to grow like little razor stubs. So I didn't have to have the clean baby face, you know what I'm saying? Because black people, that's one thing they don't know, is that black people's hair, when you shave, when the hairs grow back, they grow back in.
Right.
So you get all these nasty razor bumps and stuff. So that's a whole nother.
Oh, so they let you grow your hair a little. Right.
Just like a shadow, they call it a shadow, 5 o'clock shadow. Why they call it 5 o'clock, I don't know. I guess because the sun, certain way at 5 o'clock goes on, whatever. But that's what that was about.
Wow.
So it gets,
that's an interesting story. You in the military,
brother. This is a whole.
And
I wish Sunshine was here so he could tell this. But Hiram told a part of that.
Was Sunshine in the military?
Yeah, Hiram. Did you missed that story when Hiram was talking about him and Sunshine knowing each other in the service?
I think I missed it. I don't know.
Oh, that would have been a hot one.
Yeah.
That's the brother who just said he was leaving, gave me dap. That's brother. Actually, he drove me over here. But we were in the Panther Party together too. So
Panther Party. Panther Party.
We had that training, that extra training, that made us more lethal. Tank will probably tell you later about the unknown spade. That's another group of spades. But you know.
Okay, so what's the answer for us black folk? I mean, Black Panther, you mentioned some storm movies.
I can put it down.
Alright, so look, before we go, tell me what you remember about Sunshine.
Well, I remember about Sunshine, he always used to show up at the damnedest time, you know. Hey, my brother, what's up, Jojo? Where the hell you going, you know? You know, seeing him at the VA hospital, I knew he had stage 4 cancer, you know, I used to pray for him and we used to hang out and roll up, you know, he had to get that for, you know, like his therapy, you know, pain and stuff. He was trying to get his benefits for his sickness that he had, and we was both going there at the same time. I just went for my CNP, compensation and pension, about 2 days ago, so I'm hoping I got it. Hell, I went through in the war, dealing with, you know, how they deal with black people when you get hurt and everything, you know, to get you to run around and everything, and it's been a while, you know, and
you saying war? You was in the military?
Yeah, I was in the Navy. Bam Bam was in the Navy. We ran into each other in Spain. Me and Bam Bam.
Yeah, I mean, wait, a lot of Spades, not a lot, but some of the Spades went to the military.
Yeah.
They gave y'all ultimatums, or how did that go? Why would you go to the military?
Well, you know, a lot of us wanted to change up, you know, grow up and do things, you know.
How long was you in the military?
I was there for a little while. You know, I had a couple of racial incidents, and I wasn't having it. So I'm following that PTSD stress, you know, because it was like, you know, you got to say up as be all you can be, and they show you all this shit, and that's the front picture. When you get in the back, hey boy, you shining shoes today, you step right this way. And you know, give them a 3-piece with no biscuit and shit. You know, you gotta fuck some of them white people up in there. It was crazy because I ain't never seen a nigger before. You know how to do the James Brown. You know, you know, they say all kind of shit. You know.
Yeah, but you and Sunshine was in the military.
Yeah, I think he was in the Army. Me and Bama was in the Navy. So we ran into each other in, you know, the VA hospital. So, you know, we go in there to get, you know, our medicine and get checked out and, you know, go for treatment and stuff. And a lot of times they give you, you know, the run around.
Right.
And I was giving him this this number that he could call, because I call mine. So now I just gotta wait now. I hope y'all pray for me that I get this, you know. It's been a long time coming, you know, because a lot of white boys, they get it when they get out, you know. Oh, he has this, he has that, and you know, they have no problem. You know, it'd be like, come to you, nigga, ain't nothing wrong with you. Go right back to the damn ghetto. What the hell, you know?
Yeah.
All that kind of bullshit, you know, and you gotta fight for it. You're just not gonna give it to you, you know. You know, it's been like depression. Sometimes it takes a while when you adjust to it. Right. It's a big life when you come out of military life. Right. Especially when you aspire to be something, and then, you know, things happen to change, you know, certain circumstances. Then you have to learn to bounce back, because it's not until last, 10 or 12, 15 years, they started, until Obama got in office when they started recognizing vets.
Okay.
You know, and they started, you know, giving us this and that, saying this first preference and everything. So now since Obama came into the administration, that's what gave us that shot back to he signed a $5 billion plan. Hey, I want some of that too. I was in there. Right. And I could prove what there would be, you know, so they have some kind of program, we got a lawyer, and they put a little something to it. Percentage when it comes through. I got no problem with that, you know, as long as I get something, you know. Right. So, you know, that's what I was dealing with right now, you know. Other than that, we need to pull together as a nation, man, because they about to squeeze up out here, and ain't no time being no coons, you know, no kumbaya niggas out here. Right. Because we did it before, we can do it again. We just got to stick together. Right. Y'all sisters, get rid of them weaves and stuff. Come back to your hair. Don't you know y'all was shut down $1 billion enterprise with that alone? Right. Come back to us. We love y'all. Stop coming on with these airs and this vanity, you know. Because we need to be real with each other. We was out in them slave fields. We all we was had. It wasn't all about all the vanity of how much money you got and everything. It's who was going to be responsible enough to love and care for one another out here in these streets. Right.